Hello to all you beautiful people of the internet. Welcome to another character profile, and this time I wanted to try and do this separately, but then as I was going through the comics of volumes 2 and 3, because yes, these characters only appear in those two, I realised that their stories pretty much all together. So I'm going to do them separately, but they're going to be in one video. So first, we're going to look at Chris. He is male, his hair is dark brown, he is age 16, which concerns me a little bit in the story. Before the apocalypse, he is an assumed high school student, probably, and then after the apocalypse, he is a babysitter. Before the apocalypse, not much is known about Chris's life prior to or the outbreak began, except that he was born in 1987. Or any of you born in 1987? Let me know. And going out with Julie, and he got into a fight with his parents, causing him to stay with Julie and Tyrese right before the apocalypse started. On the free comic book day special, which is the Tyrese special, I haven't got around to reading that yet, but I hope one day I do. After Tyrese arrives back home, Chris is almost hit in the face with a poker. Tyrese manages to grab it and berates him for this. Chris then asks him for the gun, saying he can shoot, but Tyrese tells him that he ran out of bullets and tossed it away. Chris then angrily snaps back, asking if Tyrese actually got anything. Tyrese tells him that he got a hammer that he is about to put through his skull, then asking Chris to give him some space. In the volume Miles Behind Us, Chris and his girlfriend Julie travelled along with Julie's father Tyrese on the onset of the zombie apocalypse. Upon joining Rick's group, Julie and Chris were forced to babysit, something they hated. Nevertheless, they still had time to comfort each other. They are seen around the farm as well, and training with the guns, but nothing much is big happens there. And in the volume Safety Behind Us, after finding the prison, Chris seemed to want to prove his worth to Rick and the group, or at least not to be treated like a child. He often grumbles and curses in annoyance when he and Julie are asked to stay with the children, when the others invaded the jail. Unbeknownst to everyone else, Chris was pressuring Julie into a suicide pact, believing they could truly be together forever. On the night they executed their plan, Chris fired too early and only Julie was killed. Tyrese noticed the first gunshot and picked up her lifeless body. When Julie reanimated, he shot her first. However, Tyrese strangled Chris to death over this. After Chris reanimated, he brutally attacked the zombie, mutilating it. He burned both of their corpses and later told Rick what had transpired. Yeah, and fun fact, Julie was supposed to kill Chris first. And I'm guessing after that she was meant to live a little bit longer, but I guess they changed it for some reason. I'm sorry I said that word. I'll try and bleep it if I can. Moving on to Julie. So here we have Julie. She is female. Her hair is black. She's in her late teens. Before the apocalypse, we assumed she was a high school student, and after the apocalypse, she was a babysitter, much like her boyfriend Chris. Not much is known about her before, except that she had a father and a boyfriend. In the Tyrese special, after Tyrese gets hit in the face with a poker, Julia asks him if he found the gun. He tells her that it was where he thought it would be, and he did not have enough time to get a car. After Tyrese sends Chris away, Julie approaches him and tells him that Chris is just scared, and so is she. Tyrese comforts her, saying that he will protect her and never leave her alone with Chris, no matter how much she wants him to. She then tells him that there is already a hammer in the house. However, Tyrese tells her that this one is special as it saved his life. In the volume Miles Behind Us, Julie and her boyfriend Chris travelled along with Julie's father Tyrese on the onset of the zombie outbreak. While sitting on top of the RV, Tyrese reveals that on a supply run to a local supermarket, Julie was nearly Before the act was able to be committed, Tyrese found his daughter and killed the man that was harassing her. Upon joining Rick's group, Julie and Chris were forced to babysit, something they hated. Nevertheless, they still had time to comfort each other. In the volume Safety Behind Bars, the end of the world hadn't stopped for her seeking independence where she could find it. During the initial stages of cleaning the penitentiary, she and her boyfriend Chris acted as babysitters for Carl and Sophia. Once settled after having sexual intercourse for the first time with Chris, which is what a little bit concerns me about the book, but it's just a nitpick for me. If it's fine, I guess so. She carried out an ill-fated pact with her boyfriend, mostly pressured by him. Chris pulled the trigger on his weapon too quickly, killing Julie before she shot at Chris. Hearing the gunshot, Tyrese immediately came to her, picking her lifeless body up. She soon reanimated in Tyrese's arms and almost killed him before being shittily shot by Chris again. She is the reveal of you can turn no matter what, instead of Shane in the TV series. So that was Julie and Chris. Let me know what you think of these two characters, and if you had control over their fates, what would you do with them? Have a good day.